sucks. Michael.
The confirmation of an acute ichor-lq detonation on Earth signals the awakening of our harvesting forces. To our surprise, however, the dangerously viable presence of indigenous retaliation calls for our deployment to oversee the success of the harvesting operation. The first major population center under our assault is the city of London, England. We're given some devastator oh, never mind, those aren't ours. 8 seekers and 8 disintegrators to lay waste to some civilians. Send the disintegrators to the back as they die too easily. Luckily, the initial GDI response is pathetic and can easily be handled by our seekers. Once we destroy enough civilian infrastructure, the map expands and a drone platform will be delivered to us to allow construction of our forward base. At the same time, a couple orcas will come in from the top left and attack the first thing it sees. Missiles in Tib Wars have perfect accuracy against vehicles, but not against infantry. As such, we need to bring our disintegrators in and use them to kite the orcas to prevent any losses. Since this is the first mission, we're only allowed to construct basic military units, none of which are particularly sturdy. Coupled with the fact that 2 GDI bases send out attack waves constantly, we will be forced on the defensive initially. Lucky for us again, we gain access to the Storm Rider aircrafts, and the GDI bases have little anti-air at their disposal. Build a dozen Storm Riders and destroy the GDI bases with ease. Two of our scout ships carrying data nodes critical to threshold construction were shot down near Munich, and we must clear local enemy forces in order to recover the data. We're given the Mastermind and 2 devoured tanks. Remember, mind-controlled units count as our loss if they die, but it doesn't hinder our progression in this mission in the slightest. MC the initial Grenadier squad and teleport the Devourer tanks to our Mastermind and begin pathing towards the barracks along the bottom edge to avoid the sonic emitters. Clear the garrison enemy forces with the Grenadiers and Predators with Devourers. There are lots of veterancy and heal crates along the way that help keep our troops in good shape. Once we get to the barracks, send the Grenadier squad far away and MC the barracks to recruit an engineer. Teleport the engineer the defense power station to shut down all sonic emitters in the area. A large reinforcement will arrive at this point, including our favorite unit, the Devastator warships. These guys were the bane of my existence during the other 2 campaigns, and it feels damn good to bully the AI with its extreme range like they did to me. Use these warships to level the GDI base and finish the mission. Despite the gradually failing attempt at keeping indigenous resistance at bay, the Overlord has ordered further investigation into the premature ichor-lq detonation on Earth. Here in Croatia, we're tasked with infiltrating 2 Nod information facilities to gather intel. GDI forces are also present nearby and are battling the Nod forces to a stalemate. Our initial forces consist of 2 Corruptors, 4 Gunwalkers, and a Mastermind. Not exactly ideal as enemy attack waves arrive quite early. The first few waves are easily managed. At one point though, the 2 forces will both decide to just fuck you together and send constant attack waves. These attacks become increasingly deadly as the game goes on, often including avatars, mammoth tanks, and juggernauts. To avoid having to deal with the headache, we cheese the mission by TPing 2 assimilators into the Nod base immediately to take out 2 power plants and depower the Nod base. Then recruit a bunch of disintegrators and TP them in to demolish the obelisks. Capture the information facilities afterwards to finish the mission with ease.
Produce the necessary blast yield.
This being already exists in the data core. Genetic derivations unknown. Overlord will want more investigation.
Threshold assembly under attack. Arrival of increased retaliation forces expected. Mission failure imminent. Foreman, completing at least 1 threshold is now highest priority. Ceasing secondary operations immediately.
This entire harvesting operation is expendable. Overlord orders more information on Kane.
Order dismissed. A complete threshold assembly and construction of a signal transmitter is your only chance for survival, Foreman.
The Overlord's reckless obsession with Kane is bound to get us killed. We have to look out for ourselves. To secure an extraction route off-world for ourselves, we must guard Threshold 19 for 10 minutes until its completion. This mission is a real tough nut to crack. Our base is segmented into 2 parts, with a wormhole connection in between. The first issue we must tackle is the Orca strike. Shortly after the mission begins, the GDI commander will fire their shockwave artillery on this reactor, followed by 2 waves of Orca strikes. Since we're going for a no structures lost run, we have to save this reactor. Queue up a portal immediately and place it beside the reactor so we can recruit an assimilator to repair the reactor before the second Orca strike hits. Unfortunately, we'll have to rely on luck for this one. Two conditions must be fulfilled for us. Firstly, we have to pray that the shockwave artillery misses enough shots to leave the reactor at above half HP. This ensures it will survive the first Orca strike. Secondly, we have to pray that the shockwave artillery doesn't hit and EMP the portal. If these two criteria are fulfilled, we should be able to repair the reactor just in time. There's no time to rest, however. GDI attack waves will arrive shortly after on both fronts. Start spamming storm columns and recruit a mastermind while we order this tripod and these seekers to destroy these bridges so as to funnel the GDI attack waves into a single direction. Use this carrier to defeat the first wave of predator tanks, then send it to the back and never use it again because carrier drone deaths count as losses, and the GDI will start sending mammoth tanks from now on. We simply do not have enough initial resources nor production speed to keep up with the intensity of attack waves, so we must use whatever we have to persevere through the early attack waves until we have covered our base with storm columns and devastator warships. Focus on defending the bottom base first. There will be constant Orca harassment here. Deal with them with storm riders and phase shielded seekers until the storm columns are complete. Mind control attacking mammoth tanks and use them to crush the zone troopers while producing tripods and warships. GDI snipers and commando will try to sneak into the back of our base to eliminate the mastermind as well as to provide long-range targeting for juggernauts. Use seekers and storm riders to spot and eliminate early waves of snipers until we have covered the defense line with storm columns.
Enemy commando detected.
I got you, fam!
The GDI commander will use Firehawks with the Stratofighter upgrade to constantly harass the reactors at the back of our base, as well as targeting them with shockwave artillery shots. Luckily, the Firehawks won't use their anti-air missiles until the next phase of the mission, so we just need to repair the structures in time and use Storm Riders to stall them until the storm columns are built. They will also actively try to repair the bridges, so leave a few units nearby to destroy them as soon as they're repaired. Because of our focus on the bottom side, the GDI attack waves heading over there can be handled relatively easily, but this means the topside defense is gonna struggle. Use the mastermind and a handful of tripods as well as stasis field to segment and snipe juggernauts and mammoth tank attacks. 1 or 2 warships here and there should be able to handle the zone troopers. As we slowly erect our storm columns and build up a fleet of devastator warships, defending will become easier and easier. Once the tower is completed, we will gain a large amount of funds and be tasked with summoning the Mothership and escorting it to the threshold tower, which is an easy task, but not before we utterly annihilate the GDI base for giving us this much trouble first. You know, playing as the SCRIN is surprisingly fun. I wish their campaign was a little longer than just 4 missions, but it was a blast regardless. Anyways, thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned. Until next time.